Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Grab your hard hats and unroll those blueprints because today we're looking at the fascinating mechanics of secure token handling and burnable tokens within the ERC-1155 standard. If you think about smart contracts like complex architectural diagrams, today we're focusing on the heavy machinery that makes the whole system operate smoothly and, more importantly, securely. Okay, let's dive right into this project blueprint. We're going to cover first the unlocked bulldozer, then anatomy of a vulnerability, third, our blueprint for secure burns, and finally, testing the fix. And as you'll see, this perfectly builds upon our previous lesson on building and running profiling scripts.
Let's secure the machinery itself. Section 1, the unlocked bulldozer, batch operations at scale.
Imagine deploying an unprotected ERC-1155 contract to the mainnet. It's kind of like leaving the keys dangling inside a running bulldozer at a crowded construction site. To really understand why, we just need to look at the burn batch function. This is a standard function that permanently destroys multiple tokens across arrays of IDs and amounts simultaneously. Because we can mint and move tokens at such an immense scale, these powerful batch functions act just like heavy machinery. That power means a single mistake can multiply into a massive disaster affecting entire collections. So it absolutely must be handled with extreme care.
Let's diagnose a flawed schematic. Section 2, anatomy of a vulnerability. The naive implementation. Now, what's really interesting about this code snippet from vulnerable1155.sol is that it looks clean, right? It's just a simple burn function that calls the internal _burn command. But look closely at what's missing. It assumes completely good intentions and fails to verify who is actually calling the function. It's basically just an open switch waiting to be flipped by absolutely anyone on the blockchain. Which brings us to a rather stressful, chaotic scenario. What actually happens when Bob decides to call burn on Alice's tokens? Let's say Alice just minted 100 precious tokens, entirely safely. But Bob, maybe he's malicious or maybe he's literally just randomly executing commands, decides to trigger the unprotected burn command and explicitly targets Alice's address. 50. That is the devastating outcome. Bob successfully destroyed 50 of Alice's tokens in one fell swoop. And why? Simply because the contract lacked the basic rules to stop him. The bulldozer was unlocked, Bob hopped in, and he bulldozed half of Alice's digital property. This is exactly why we need strict site security. Time for the solution. Section 3, blueprint for secure burns. Role-based restrictions. All right, take a breath. In our Forge College learning paths, we heavily emphasize building rock-solid secure blueprints before you ever hit deploy. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we lock down this heavy machinery. It all comes down to access control. A naive burn function has zero restrictions. But a secure burn, it uses a specific modifier, only roll, burner roll. The bulldozer isn't just locked. It requires a cryptographic license to operate. Only authorized accounts explicitly granted this role can execute the function. But minimizing authority with roles isn't the whole story. We absolutely must validate inputs as well. Look at these defensive require checks. Even a licensed operator can make a typo. If the batch array lengths for IDs and amounts don't perfectly match, or if they accidentally target a zero address, we prevent subtle state corruption by failing early and reverting the transaction. Let's prove it works. Section 4, testing the fix. The debugging lab. So we've drawn up the secure blueprints, and now we need to prove our design actually works in a simulated environment using Hardhat and ethers.js. Let's see how this builds into a highly repeatable debugging pattern that you can use across all your multi-token contracts. First, reproduce the bug. Second, confirm it with a failing test. Third, implement a focused fix. And fourth, verify with a passing test. This cycle is for sure going to be your new best friend for bulletproof reliability. So the crucial point here is seeing the definitive proof. In our vulnerable state, the unauthorized burn succeeds and Alice's balance tragically drops. But in our secure state, when Bob tries his chaotic burn, boom, the contract throws an access control revert error. Alice's balances are fully protected because the bulldozer just hit a reinforced concrete wall. Let's zoom out for a second and summarize this explainer with 3 golden engineering rules. Principle 1. Minimize authority with explicit roles to restrict the blast radius. Principle 2. Validate inputs to fail early. And Principle 3. Use standard internal helpers like _burn batch and make sure your tests assert that the correct events actually fired. Looking ahead, you'll want to keep those debug reports ready. The exact testing and validation patterns we established today are going to be absolutely essential in our next lesson when we tackle metadata management and the token lifecycle. Specifically, we'll look at how to safely handle mutable URIs and freezing token IDs without completely breaking your collection. So I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. Will your next multi-token contract survive the bulldozer test? I certainly hope you're leaving today's explainer feeling confident that it will. If you want to dive deeper into this exact code, explore more comprehensive courses, and master even more Web3 engineering concepts, head over to forge.college. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.